good all year. But this year, we 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 would have won no matter what, whether had been a countdown or not. And I like that. It makes it nerve wracking for the teams and the drivers. The way they reset the points, and you go down, and then you come to Pomona, and it's points and a half. So they're basically guaranteeing it that unless you have a season like Torrance did in 2018, that the championships in all four classes are going to come down to the last day of the season in Pomona. And if you just struggle have any little mechanical malfunction or any problem, a great season is thrown out the window. So it's a lot of pressure. And being a former crew member, I understand all these things. I know what can happen. I know all the little things, there's just statistics with these cars, probably 1 out of 20 runs, it's going to drop a cylinder. And sometimes you can't put your finger on why it dropped a cylinder. Well, if we'd have dropped a cylinder Sunday, our year was over. So very, very nerve-wracking. I think it's probably exciting for the fans. But, when NASCAR resets the points, they go back and they give some extra points for wins during the regular season. And I think some of, our system needs to be tweaked a little bit. And I also am not even sure we need a countdown anymore because, like I said earlier, the competition level in funny car is so tight and so close. The parity is unbelievable. Never been closer. Not sure you even need a countdown, but anyway, we did get it done, and looking back on it, now you can kind of sit back and enjoy it. But the teams are already back to work and getting ready for 2020.
Well, and that being said, I know, talking about the countdown, you were rolling most of the season, and we talked about that. You get in sync, and then for some odd reason, there was a couple of rounds there right towards the end of the season, I think Vegas being one of them. I mean, you guys, momentum wasn't quite in your favor heading into Pomona, so that had to have been just an extra level of pressure on you guys because, you kind of want to be peaking at the end of the season, and for one odd reason or another, you guys, you had a couple of struggles there in the rounds leading up to Pomona.
Yes, we did. And, some of it was the driver. I red lit in Dallas, okay? And then the next race in Vegas, I got beat on a hole shot. Beckman had a, unconscious light. He double-stepped it but held the brake and got away with it. And I had a good light. I had my average. And so now we have one race left, and you just got beat on a hole shot, and you red lit. So your confidence level as a driver isn't where it exactly should be going into the biggest race of the year, and you only have a small lead. Okay, your points lead isn't what it used to be. A lot of sleepless nights, but we all of us, we rose to the occasion when it mattered. And I think honestly now, if I'm ever in this position again, I don't think it'll be quite as nerve-wracking and stressful because you've been there, you've done it, and just go out and do your job. That's what you have to do.
Well, and I want to go back and talk about John Force Racing as a whole this year. Obviously you won the championship, but, talking about funny car, how big was it for John to get win number 150 for the organization? And I know you personally, you were invested into that program. A good chunk of those wins came when you were, working with John on that car. How big was that for the organization? Because I know I interviewed John right after it happened, and, it was like a big monkey following him around. And he's like, man, I finally shook that thing off my back, He says, I think the T-shirt people were carrying those things around and the banners for I don't know how long. But, how big was that for the organization and you? Because you were invested into that.
Oh, it's huge. And, as a competitor and a fan of the sport, like I am, it's just mind-boggling. John always tries to make me feel good and say, oh, well, you've got a lot of years left. You can catch me. The truth is, no one's ever going to come close to 150. No one is even in his zip code. And, Nobody's even in the zip code of half of what he's done. Okay, to get 75 wins is going to be a major milestone for somebody, and I'm not sure that'll ever happen. So it was big for us, and like you said, I was with him for a lot of those wins, and it was just cool to see John, back in his rare form in the winner's circle and, at the top end. And what made it the coolest was, I think if you just watched it on TV, you really saw what John Force is all about with that win. Okay. Gets excited, over the top interview, and then jumps the fence to go in the stands with the fans. Okay. Cause that's why he's here. That's why he loves doing what he does. And he knows that they're the reason he's here. So, it was, that whole thing just showed John Force's personality to a T.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think that's what it was all about. That was so special for the fans, and, John Force, I grew up watching him, and here he is still doing it, and it was an amazing, I think, moment for the sport and for motorsports in general. But, talking about your guys' dominance, this year, I mean, how do you shift gears into 2020? Because like you said, this is, one of the most stacked funny car fields in history. I mean, I think NHRA in all the divisions, top fuel, funny car, you name it, it's stacked. But you specifically in funny car, I mean, what are you guys doing this offseason? Because they're gunning for you.
Oh, that's true. We can't spend a lot of time to celebrate this championship and enjoy it. It's got to be back to work. Those other guys are working harder than ever because they want to get it back from us. We have a big target on our back, and we can't be complacent. We've really got to get back at it and work hard, and just know that it's not getting any easier. But honestly, I feel that this was the best year we had with 4 teams ever. Okay, we had 4 really good cars all year, and I think they're only going to get better next year. Dave Grubnick and that team on Brittany's car that was kind of a learning year for them, but they fought for the championship right down to the last day. If they'd have beat Steve Torrance second round, they'd have been the champs. So they were right there, and I think they're only going to get better. Austin Prock had a great rookie season, and that team's going to be better. So the future is bright for John Force Racing, and we all know John can win. He's been doing it for a lot of years and finishing at the top all those years. So we know he'll be right there.
Well, appreciate the time, Robert. We got to cut you short. We will be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Wrapping things up here, and man, what a fun-filled episode. Surprise guest Mia Chapman, Jesse Owens dropping by the studio. Great to have them on. Big thanks to T-Stone for calling in from the LA Auto Show, or at least on our way home from the LA Auto Show. Big thanks to NHRA champs Robert Height and Andrew Hines. Andrew Hines making his debut on the show. Good stuff, good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in each and every week. Like I said before, I'm headed out to PRI. Got a couple of appearances. I'll be putting some stuff on social media, in the next couple of days. So if you're out at PRI, make sure and swing by. Say hey. Big thanks to Polaris Razor 4-wheel parts, General Tire, Vision Wheel, Dirtfish Rally School, Gibson Exhaust, good friends at Rigid Industries, Impact Race Products, they'll be at PRI as well. Our good friends there at Super ATV, making the best damn UTV parts on the planet right there at Super ATV. Good friends at Pro Armor as well. Man, we got some great partners in the show. Couldn't do without them. If you're looking for a coupon code for Dirtfish, you want 15% off, use the coupon code DOWNDIRTYDF. That will get you 15% off at Dirtfish Rally School. So big thanks to them for the continued support of the show, and we got some big news happening for 2020. You just wait. We got some huge news brewing right here on the show. Make sure and subscribe to us on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Follow me at JimBeaver15 on social media, and you guys have a great week, and we see you next time right here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
You always dreamed about owning your first house, or driving that special car, or opening that business. Unfortunately, you also had nightmares. Introducing the May Only My Good Dreams Come True policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Get a quote. Find an agent. Visit amfam.com.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.